Hey guys, post game, Eagles Jaguars. Welcome to the Bird Brothers, two brothers in Ohio, lifelong Philadelphia Eagles fans, dating all the way back to the beginning of the Andy Reid era. By the way, the last time the Eagles started 4-0 was 2004, and that team made it to the Super Bowl with Terrell Owens. We lost to the Patriots, you all remember. But in
Right.
this episode, we're going to talk about the Eagles and the Jaguars, what we liked, what we didn't like. Kick it off, Ryan.
Yeah. I got a little nervous in the beginning. I feel like the play calling was kind of stagnant. It didn't seem like, and maybe they adjusted that because of the weather. I don't know if that was the main reason why, but just didn't seem like they could get in rhythm. They didn't seem comfortable. And like I said, I feel like the Jaguars, they believe in their coach. They're young. They're hungry. That city's hungry for wins. So it's they have everything in perfect storm to come out and beat, knock off these top teams. So I was really happy to see, especially with the weather, getting the running game, starting to get the running game going, getting Jalen more comfortable. I would still like to see us incorporate. We used him a good amount today, but Goddard, I really want to see Goddard incorporated more. I feel like there's not a lot of linebackers that can cover him, and a lot of times that's what he has: linebackers, safeties, nickel corners. Uh, but overall, we settled in, and I do kind of like after it's over. You don't like it when it's happening, but now that it's over, we battled back. I do kind of like the adversity. It shows that we are we're a seasoned team. We have a lot of savvy veterans on our team that can kind of, right the ship or, kind of calm, cool, collective and during chaos. So I like that. But overall, middle of second quarter on, we started to kind of pick it up, but a little bit of a slow start. And I'm guessing just weather and different things dictated that. But settled in. Miles Sanders had a heck of a game, career high rushing yards. And I think he had like somewhere 30 carries or something like that, just under 30 carries, which is, a massive amount of carries compared to what he's normally getting. But yeah, overall, wasn't a perfect game, but we got the win. And at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yeah, I thought our offense was a little bit, I was going to say sloppy. Maybe they started a little slow. Looked like a bad decision that Hurts kind of forced the ball to Pascal that led to that interception. Perhaps the ball was wet. Perhaps he threw
Right.
it behind him, a little bit because of that. So that was not the best. That play, actually, that was our first offensive series. We lost Mailata. So Mailata come out of the game. But man, Jeff Stoutland does such a great job. We lost two offensive linemen in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't miss a beat. We went right into 4-minute offense when we needed to run the ball down their throat and seal up the game. We did that.
Yeah.
Can't say enough good things about them. Jack Driscoll, great player. For
Yeah.
what his role is, man, that's our third string left tackle.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. Like, we had Dillard. It's like, this guy's our third string left
Right.
tackle going in there, and we don't miss a beat. And the way we don't miss a beat is like, if a tackle plays well, is we're not talking about him. He
Yeah.
does his job. Biggest thing I want to say though is shout out Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Man, it's nice to see a big free agent acquisition make those plays. A lot of people contributed, obviously, like nobody single-handedly wins a game, but
Right.
his two strip sacks,
Yeah.
massive, massive turning points in the game, man. And I'm very excited to see him like performing. We went out and paid money for somebody. He's performing. He's playing well.
Right.
So I liked that. I did not know Maddox was out. Josiah Scott, he did make a good play on the ball, but he did get kind of cooked a couple times. Looked like he got lost in zone coverage.
Right.
The biggest play of which was giving up the big one to Kirk.
Yeah.
And we're up by like 2 scores at that time. Like, that's like the worst thing you can do. Give up a
Yeah.
big play and allow them to score quick.
Right.
Um, let's talk for a second about our predictions, man.
Yeah.
So we put out a little video this morning before the game predicting the score, talking about a few things. My prediction was 28-24, and Ryan's was 31-20. And what was the final? 29-21.
Yeah, 29-21.
That's pretty damn good, man.
Yeah.
We're both right around it. We also lost Slay, so hopefully that's not serious.
Doesn't seem to be. I mean, they didn't talk about it a lot, and he's on the sideline kind of joking around, and I'm thinking it's maybe just I don't know for sure, but it doesn't seem to be any. Because if it was, they would have been talking about it. They would have said, "Yeah, we got word from Slay, and he's definitely not coming back. Like he was questionable."
Mhm.
So as soon as I saw the questionable, it sucks to not have him, but it's not anything where it's like he got carted off or so. Yeah, hopefully that stays for everybody. Maddox just tweaked his ankle in practice, I think on Thursday or Friday. So I think that was same precautionary type thing, hold him out, let him heal. But yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was. I think it is, as you said. I think it is a good thing that we got punched in the mouth. You make a quick mistake, pick six.
yeah,
You don't score. I think we might have went 3 and out. Give the ball back to them. They scored again.
yeah,
And they also missed out on opportunities. Like they missed Agnew deep. Lauren
yeah,
dropped the ball because of the weather on that 4th and 1 play, 4th and 2 play.
right.
So some things went our way, but that's the NFL, man.
Yeah,
It's good to win football games multiple different ways, because when you get to the end of the year, man, and you've won through the air, right? Like versus Minnesota, Hurts has thrown for 340 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's faced the guys that are dropping in shell coverages. We've faced the guys who blitz the hell out of us. We face the guys today in the rain, like where we come in with this idea of a game plan, and then we we need to pound the football.
right.
I think that is a great sign, man. It shows that the coaches are and since Doug was there today, it's like it seemed like Doug and those guys, when they were with us, it seemed like we struggled to adjust.
Yeah,
It seemed like we would not adjust very quickly, and it's like we were almost like the head coach was almost stubborn, like the quarterback at the time, Mr.
yeah. Well, I think that they talked about that with Sirianni, like talking about how big of a shift there was when Sirianni decided to give up play calling to Steichen, to understand, like to be humbled and be like, you know what, this guy can probably do it better than me. Let's give this guy a shot, and I think that might have been part of what Doug, kind of ended his reign in Philly was like, for one, obviously he wanted his own coordinators and things like that, and I don't think Lurie and Roseman were agreeing to terms on stuff like that. But then another thing with certain play calling was awful. We ran way too many screens, and we're trying to. It's like we're playing like this because we didn't have receivers, or there was always an excuse to why we're using this certain scheme, but it wasn't working, and we did struggle to make adjustments. And the fact that we started 2-5 last year, and then we give up play calling, Steichen takes over, and now we end up being the number 1 rushing team in the league quietly. If you're not an Eagles fan and you tell someone that, I told people, I was like, yeah, we were the number 1 rushing team last year. I'm like, no way. Sanders has never ran for 1,000 yards. And I'm like, I mean, you can look it up. It's just facts, man. And that's why, we don't need a dominant running back. You don't need to spend the 1st round pick on a running back. You can get someone run Gainwell, Trey Sermon. We saw some of him today. We talked during the game, looks very explosive.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to see more of him. I feel like Scott and Gainwell are very similar. So it's, in a sense, it's just like pick which one you like better, and then Trey Sermon should get the other carries. But yeah, I would love to see that. But yeah, I think he's very like I talked about his humility as a coach, never being that that big oh, I'm the top dog, I'm the head coach, I'm gonna run things, this is my way and that's it. Understanding that it's these are grown men you're coaching. They're not. This isn't high school football where you can grab their face mask, yank them around, tell them they're idiots, throw them on. It doesn't work like that. You're both adults. they're making more money than you. Like, you don't like you can't. So I like that he has that. He understands. Like, we brought Shane Steichen in for a reason. Let him do his thing, show what he can do. And yeah, I'm really happy with what we've seen coaching wise. Again, I think today was just maybe a blip because of the weather. Game plan changed up a little bit because for whatever reason. But again, we got punched in the mouth. We settled in and we stuck to our running game, and it worked. So
Yeah, it's a really good sign to see a team that can adjust in game, on the spot with the weather. We protected the ball pretty well. We only had the one turnover, right?
yeah,
The early in the game, the forced throw by Hurts.
I don't even know that it was. I'm not to cut you off, but I don't even think it was forced. Going back and watching it, like he's just late. He's
Oh,
late on the throw, and because Pascal's open, uh, and I mean there's guys. Actually, I think Goddard was open on the play as well, but I think he's just late. He was like a split second late, and then it's thrown. If you thrown it earlier, you'd hit Pascal on the run and stride. Instead, you threw it late. It's at his hip. It's wet. It's a tough ball to catch. So, yeah, I think outside of that, man, with the weather, we held on the ball great. They had multiple fumbles. Even the one, I don't know if it was Robinson or who fumbled it. It might have been ETN, but fumbled, and then Kirk recovered it on like 2 or 3. Yeah, we really happy with the way we played, man. Turnover wise.
yeah, and hey, that was, I know the player you're talking about. That was Patrick Johnson,
Yeah,
year linebacker, kind of a edge rusher mainly. He's more of a pass rusher, but
right.
that was a great play from a guy on a rookie contract, second year. Chase that down from behind and strip that ball.
Yeah,
It doesn't get all the credit because we didn't recover it, but that's irrelevant. From
right.
he made the play he needed to make. That's a
Yep.
big play. It's nice to see young guys doing that. Saw Jordan Davis have a big
Yep.
run stuff early.
Yeah.
Didn't see a lot of him. TJ Edwards played well again.
Yep.
Trying to think.
Bradbury interception was a great read.
Yeah,
Just Lawrence stared his guy down. He didn't look him off, and Bradbury, as soon as he saw him looking, just you see him drift off his guy, left him to Epps, and great
yeah.
play.
And at that time, if you guys remember, Jaguars are driving. Eagles are winning 2014.
Yep.
Jaguars score there. They take the lead with a field goal or the extra point. Sorry.
Yeah.
And that's the plus, man. Like we paid $10 million for Bradbury. That's why. I mean, McPherson, he's a good athlete, young corner, but that play had not a lot to do with athleticism.
Right.
You could run a 4.26 40 and be 6'3", but if you don't have your eye discipline, if you're not like watching the quarterback and like
Yeah.
that's the plus of going and getting a veteran like that. Bradbury's been incredible, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where he ranks. And like people were like when we first signed him, some guys I was very excited, but some guys were like, well, he wasn't even that good in New York last year. And it's like we don't take into account sometimes as fans, like he was playing for the Giants, right?
Yeah. No one was good last year for the Giants.
Yeah, they didn't have Saquon Barkley. They
Yeah.
were a terrible team. How many
Offense.
did
Yeah.
they? 3?
I think 3 or 4. I mean, the offense couldn't stay on the field. The defense was on the field like I would say probably 70% of the game, just on the field constantly. Like if I throw the ball at you 200 times in a season, and then the next guy I throw it to him 80 times in a season, you're gonna have worse stats. And it's all about your scheme. There's guys that fit certain schemes. He doesn't have to be the stud number one. Go up against. He can. Hey, this is your side of the field. You're gonna stay over here, and it fits so far. He's looked great, and he's like what you talked about with tackles. If you're not hearing his name, he's doing his job. Like they might mention it here and there, but we haven't heard. Oh, Bradbury gets burnt deep there. Slay gets burnt. Like we haven't heard it. Today was really the first big play we've given up that I was like, and it was just, I think, just a mix up. It was another time, almost the same play where they all drifted to the flat, and like Scott just looked kind of lost. So yeah,
And it's for the
hopefully,
backup. It's for the backup corner.
yeah,
We were down
but
2 offensive linemen. They held
yeah,
their own. We were down 2 corners. We didn't hold our own quite as well. We won
yeah,
the game, but we gave up some pretty big plays, and we got exposed a little bit. Josiah Scott got exposed.
Yeah,
You know, it was Scott. Yeah, Scott got beat on the deep ball. That's right.
yeah.
Kirk was in the slot. Um, McPherson got beat once, didn't he?
I don't know if it was a big play. McPherson didn't look bad. I mean, he's about what I expected. He just kind of tried to survive, basically. Just don't, I don't need you to try to jump routes. Just don't give up big plays.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anything off the top of my head where McPherson got burnt real bad. Just the Scott one. We really didn't give up big plays. That was their biggest play of the game. Against our fourth, fifth corner. So, not a.
If you count Chauncey Gardner Johnson as a corner, I mean, he's like our sixth, seventh corner.
Someone want to talk. I think Gardner Johnson played pretty poorly. I saw there was a lot of plays where I think you could tell it seemed like it was frustration on his own part. Like he was frustrated with himself. Like the one where I don't even know if it was Scott, but same thing where the guys went to the flat and Gardner Johnson like tried to close and couldn't get there in time. And I still don't think that was his fault. I think someone was probably supposed to drift with if they went past you. But I saw a lot of missed tackles where Gardner Johnson flies in, misses the tackle, over pursues. I don't want to say he played bad, but I don't think he played very well. And give it time. He hasn't been in the system very long. He's learning the new role. He played nickel corner basically. 84% of the snaps last year he played nickel corner in New Orleans. So I think it's an adjustment, get him back in the safety role. Because when we're fully healthy, he's going to be, he might play the dime, occasional nickel, but I think he's mostly going to be, playing safety for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen him get kind of a little aggressive, playing a little bit shallow at times, and he's gotten lucky a few times. Like the Vikings, their tight end dropped a ball. Tight end behind him dropped a ball. I've seen Gardner Johnson give one up that was actually completed, and he made the tackle. I think he tried to play the ball in the air, and he did. He was able to make the tackle. But yeah, he's been a little bit aggressive, which overall our defense has been really good.
Yeah, I think that's the type of player he is. I don't think he's definitely not the guy to sit back and just he doesn't give up a lot of plays, but he also doesn't intercept passes or have big hits. Like he's going to be a guy who hits people hard, forces fumbles, tips passes, things like that. But with those guys, you're going to have errors. You're going to have plays where you give up. Biggest one in the league is Trevon Diggs, the most overhyped. I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you're biased." He's the most overhyped corner in the league. Like what's the last game they played where it was a slant, the receiver falls down, and Diggs is like 8 yards behind him, just kind of backpedaling, and the receiver falls down, the ball's thrown directly in his gut. And they're like, Trevon Diggs does it again. I'm like, he threw the ball directly to him. And last year, he had 11 picks. Great. He also gave up more yards than any starting corner in the league. So you pick and choose what you want. It's, they compare him to Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel didn't give up that stuff. He didn't give up 1,300 yards a season. He would jump stuff sometimes and miss, and it's a big play. No safety help, but I think you're going to get, flashes of these big plays from Gardner Johnson, but we're also going to see missed tackles, trying to bat the ball down, missing it, and a big play because of it. But that's kind of what you get. But yeah, overall, I'm real happy with how we played, man. Battled back. Reddick has slowly progressed each week. So yeah, I'm real happy with what I've seen so far.
Oh, dude, those are big time plays, man. Because he's you can't say single handedly, as I said earlier, but man, he wrecked that game. He made 2 very, very big swing the pendulum plays. And so what I think is interesting is as we go into next week and these next 3 games, these teams are game planning for us. Yeah, they knew who Hassan Reddick was, obviously. Yeah. And I've seen early, even in the first week of the year, they had guys chipping Reddick and stuff. But now you've got to even pay more attention to him because the Jaguars had a chance to win this game.
Yeah.
Take away those strip sacks. By the way, we take away the Bradbury pick. Like those are great plays.
Yeah.
Free agent acquisitions. Like the Jaguars could have taken the lead before Bradbury picked the ball. The Jaguars had a chance to move the football, and Reddick came in, wrecked the ball, stripped it.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting how teams game plan for him moving forward. Josh Sweat gets more one-on-ones. Brandon Graham
Yeah.
one-on-ones. Fletcher Cox. So
I think that's the plus of Jordan Davis too. Like he's not going to fly off the charts because he's an interior defensive lineman, and he's basically being doubled every play he's in. Even when he's on the field with Fletch, they're doubling Jordan Davis before they're doubling Fletch. So it's a big plus to me to have him on the field. And I don't know if it's a stamina thing or they're just working him in. He's figuring out the NFL. I get, but if I can just punch him in there, and that means I'm getting one-on-one matchups with Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Reddick and Sweat, I'll take that. You're taking up a center and a guard every single play. Our guys are gonna win one-on-one consistently. So I love the depth we have, man. I love the 5 front we ran. I've seen we dropped Brandon Graham into coverage. I saw on one and ended up I think blitzing Trent or TJ Edwards, and so yeah, I like what we're doing, man. I really do. Few mistakes here and there, but those injuries didn't help. Having 4th, 5th corners in there who haven't seen first team reps. So
yeah.
Overall, very happy, man.
Yeah, man. That's all that I've got. Any final thoughts from you?
No. I we're like I said, we're pretty close on the scores, man. I think we knew they were going to play us tough. I didn't expect to come out and go down 14-0, but we battled back. So got a tougher matchup, just based off talent. I don't think the Cardinals have played, like what people thought they would. They haven't played amazing or anything like that, but they have Kyler Murray. He's a very hard person to defend. And I think Rondale Moore made his debut this week, or is making his debut this week. So we'll have that to deal with. But overall, man, I in return we'll be facing Zach Ertz. So that'll be kind of cool.
In Philly or in Arizona?
I don't know. I want to say it's in Arizona, but I'm not positive. But yeah, I think start game planning for Kyler Murray. I'd like to see a spy on him and not let him beat us for, he has a tendency to get these crazy like 3rd and 13 runs off where they just send, they run 4 verticals and then Kyler Murray takes it for 15 yards because we're spying him with a defensive tackle just kind of floating. It's like, so yeah, I was happy. Happy with how we played, man. That's all I got. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for every week now. It's nice to be winning and seeing free agents, like you said, pay off. Free agents we bring in, because I just have nightmares of Nnamdi Asomugha, DeMarco Murray. Like these guys were like, we're gonna be the best. We're winning a fucking Super Bowl. We got DeMarco Murray. He ran for 1,500 yards last year, and then we don't use him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. He's gonna average 9 carries a game for us, but yeah, it's nice to see stuff paying off, man. Excited for next week.
Me too, man. Every week is exciting. The Eagles are 4-0. They won today 29-21, beating Jacksonville. Doug Peterson's return to Philly. He gets the L. Guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. This has been the Bird Brothers, 2 brothers in Ohio, lifelong Eagles fans. We'll see you next week.